So today I have in a pretty special watch and one that I wasn't expecting to be able to show you guys on the channel here anytime soon. But here it is. The watch is the Omega Seamaster Professional. This is the gray dial version, and it is a beautiful watch. Good friend of mine from the Toronto area here, Sean, he had recently picked up the watch and the other day had offered to lend it into the channel for a video. I was completely blown away by the offer and also very thankful for it. So that's how I got hands on with the watch here. He did offer to let me keep it as long as I need, but I want to get him his watch back as soon as possible. And because I'm only having the watch just a few days, this is kind of an overview slash a little bit of eye candy for you and for me too. So let's switch things up and take a look at the watch. Now, the Seamaster is such a legendary watch, obviously, but when these new models came out, I wasn't sure how I felt about the dials, especially this gray model. First time I saw and tried one on at one of the local ADs, that changed immediately, though. These look so sharp in person, and on top of the watch, looks wise, they pack so much cool tech into these, both inside and out. So these watches are Master Chronometer certified, and what that means is they go through both, actually first COSC certification and then METIS certification. With COSC, the watches are tested and have to be accurate to no greater than -4 to +6 seconds per day. If you give it a Google, you can find the testing process and lots of info on that. But the METIS certification is more stringent and puts the watches through more real world types of testing, including magnetic resistance, water resistance, and also accuracy, which has to be between 0 and +6 seconds per day. There's a great write up on the Omega site with all the details of the certification that I'll link below. The movement is the caliber 8800, which is a 35 joule movement beating at 25,200 vibrations per hour. It has a free sprung balance and silicon balance spring and is highly anti-magnetic up to 15,000 Gauss. To put that into perspective, the Rolex Milgauss, I believe, is only rated up to 1,000 Gauss. The movement has a power reserve of approximately 55 hours, and it's just beautiful to look at through the display case back. When it comes to the crown action, the winding is silky smooth. It's just butter to unscrew and screw back in. It's not a particularly large crown, but no problems getting a hold of it and setting the date and time. Up at the 10 o'clock is the helium escape valve, aka the wart to the non-Seamaster fans. For me personally, it's not the most useful feature of the watch. I can't imagine ever needing it really, but it's a big part of the watch's personality. One little tidbit I just learned on the helium escape valve, at least on these newer models, is even unscrewed, if that was to happen accidentally, the water resistance on the watch is still 50 meters. The dial is made with ceramic and PVD coated to give it the gray tone. The waves are laser engraved, and these being Bond's choice of watch, we definitely had to have lasers involved somewhere along the lines with the watch. So I'm glad they have their bases covered with that. It is a stunning dial with a brushed sunburst effect, and it offers some really cool, nice light play. As far as legibility goes, getting the time isn't a problem at all with the blued handset and bold hour markers. But one negative with this version over, say, the blue or black is the date. It's a color matched date wheel with blue print work, and it's pretty tough to read for me. It does look cool, but not very legible. On the blue and black models, the date is printed in white, so much easier to read. The bezel is a treat to use. It's not the grippiest bezel grip, and I could see possibly having an issue if your hands are wet or something along those lines, but it's actually not that bad, even with the white gloves on here, which can be a little bit slippery. The insert is made with ceramic, and then the markings on the bezel, the white markings, are an enamel, so that should stay that vivid white tone even after years of use. Before I get too far ahead of myself here, I just realized I forgot to mention the Lume. The Lume on the watch is very good. It's not as blazing bright as some other brands out there, but it's not bad at all. And I really like that they went with the dual colored Lume with the greener tone Lume on the bezel pip and minute hand, and then the rest being that nice icy blue tone. The bracelet is unfortunately sized just a little too small for me. Sean would have let me size it, I'm sure, but I didn't want to mess with the bracelet. I can wear it with the dive extension out, but he's been wearing it on an interesting strap combination that I've also been wearing it on, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. I put it back on the bracelet just for the sake of the video, but Sean tells me after wearing this for a few weeks that he would prefer the bracelet with a slight taper. I can't argue with that at all, but I think I'd be wearing this on the bracelet if it were mine. It looks just right on the bracelet. I do find that the clasp is on the chunky side, though. It's quite long and also quite thick, but there's a lot they have to squeeze in here, and I'll just open it up and start to show you. So first of all, we've got the dive extension, and then we also have the on-the-fly micro adjust system, which works very well and is just a great feature to have in a clasp. Size-wise, the watch comes in at a case width of pretty well spot on 42 millimeters. The lug to lug is 49.6 millimeters. Lug opening is 22 millimeters, and the thickness is 13.6 millimeters. Crystal is sapphire with an anti-reflective treatment on the underside, and the water resist is 300 meters. So quick look on wrist with the dive extension out here, and wow, this watch is a looker. Lots to love about this one. My wrist for reference is 7.25 inches, and this just feels like perfection on wrist. So Sean has been wearing this on a strap pairing I would have never thought to even try. It's a bun strap from, I believe it's from Vario Watches, and I think that looks so cool. I just wanted to show you a bit of a different look that I thought worked really good on the watch before I let you go. Massive thanks again to Sean for letting me borrow this for a few days. It's been a ton of fun to wear and experience. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.